Hello students, we have discussed about the algae and bryophyta in previous classes of this plant kingdom. Now today we will start with pteridophytes. Pteridophytes evolved from the bryophyta and they have some important characteristic features, economic importance, then alternation of generation, how they alternate their generation from sporophyte to gametophyte. All these we will discuss in this class. Now some of the important economic importance you can see here, that they have some medicinal purposes. They are most of the pteridophytic members are used for various types of medicinal purposes. Then they are also act as a soil binder and they prevent the process of soil erosion as their roots are being binding the soil. Now maximum ferns are utilized as the ornamental plants and we love to plant those in our houses. Now some of the characteristic features are about the habitat, that means where does they live, where does they evolve, flourish. Now they prefer cool, damp, shady places and then the sandy soil is most favorable for them. So in such soil they develop. Now the plant body shows having exhibit true root, stem and leaves. Earlier till now algae and bryophyta we have done that they are thallus, but that means they have no true root, stem and leaves, but in pteridophyta we can see true root, stem and leaves as well as the vascular tissue, that is the xylem and phloem, and this xylem and phloem starts from here only. Till bryophyta they were absent. So we can see that this pteridophytes are evolved than the bryophyta. This shows the process of evolution, and hence here the most important characteristic feature is that this group of plant having the true root, stem and leaves with vascular tissue, that is xylem and phloem, for the purpose of conduction. Now they show, and their leaves are of two types. Some of the plants having small leaves and such leaves are known as microphylls, and when the size of the leaf is bigger then it is known as macrophylls. Examples of macrophylls, some ferns, different types of ferns, and microphylls, that is Selaginella. So macro means large leaves and micro means small leaves. Now they show alternation of generation, that means the dominant sporophytic phase will alternate with the gametophytic phase. In case of bryophyta we had discussed that the gametophytic phase was dominant over the sporophyte, but here the situation is reverse, that means the sporophyte is dominant and the gametophytic phase is not dominant, it is dominated by the sporophytic phase. Now see here, sporophyte is diploid structure having double chromosome number 2n structure. This will give rise to the sporophyll, and this sporophyll will bear the fruiting body like a structure known as sporangia. Inside this sporangia the meiosis will take place, that is reduction division will take place, and it will give rise to the spores, which is N or haploid structure. Now this spores will undergo the process of germination during the favorable condition and it will give rise to the gametophyte. These gametophytes are, now this sporophyte are free living multicellular plant, and this gametophyte is also free living multicellular, but this is thalloid structure, thallus like structure, and it is known as prothallus. Now this prothallus of gametophyte will bear two types of gametes, male gamete and female gamete. Now these male and female gametes are produced inside the archegonia and antheridia. Antheridia is the male reproductive structure and this female reproductive structure is known as archegonia. Inside the antheridia male gamete will produce, and inside the archegonia female gamete will produce, that is egg. Now after that these two gametes will undergo the process of fusion and the product will be zygote. Here it becomes 2n structure or diploid structure. This zygote will undergo the process of germination and it will give rise to the gametophyte, which is 2n structure or diploid structure. In this way the alternation of generation takes place, and we can see here sporophyte as well as gametophyte both are independent structure, both will perform the activity of photosynthesis and both are multicellular structure, although sporophyte is dominant over gametophyte. So, this type of this alternation of generation takes place in Pteridophyta, and this is known as haplodiplontic type of alternation of generation. Now, this Pteridophyta, most of the pteridophytes are homosporous. That means they are producing same type of spores, same size of spores, but few species like this Selaginella shows heterosporous condition. That means two types of spores are produced, that is macro and micro. Macro are bigger in size and they will give rise to female gametophyte, and the microspores which are smaller will give rise to male gametophyte. The embryo will develop inside the female gametophyte from the zygote. So, zygote will undergo the process of mitosis to give rise to embryo, and this embryo will be are present inside the female gametophyte, and this shows the phenomena of the precursor of seed habit, and this also shows the process of evolution. Now, this Pteridophyta showing are classified into 4 classes. This is the classes. Number one class is Xylotum. Here P is silent, and the example of this Xylotum, one species is Xylopsida and the species is Xylotum. Now, the second class is Lycopsida, having 2 examples, that is Lycopodium and Selaginella. Third class is Sphenopsida, example is Equisetum, this is a type of horsetail. Then the Pteropsida, fourth class is Pteropsida, and it exhibits different types of ferns, for example Dryopteris, Pteris, Adiantum, etc., which are used as ornamental plants. So, in this way we can see that this is the life cycle of Pteridophyta, how they evolve, and then their characteristic feature in which weather condition, which type of soil they grow, develop, flourish, and what are the some uses of this Pteridophyta. Now, we will discuss through the diagram also. Now, this sporophyte, which is multicellular structure, and gametophyte, which is also multicellular, but the difference is that this is diploid structure, that is 2n structure, this is haploid structure, that is n structure. Now, both are multicellular, both are performing the activity of photosynthesis, but their structure is different. Gametophyte is the plant which are prothallus, that means they are small structure and having thalloid structure, that is why known as prothallus, whereas sporophyte is dominant, having true root, stem and leaf. The sporophyte bears the spores, haploid spores, and gametophyte bears the male and female gamete, that is haploid, and they will undergo the process of fusion to give rise to the zygote. This gametophyte produces antheridia and archegonia. This antheridia will give rise to antherozoids, which is the male reproductive structure, and archegonia is the female reproductive structure, and this is male reproductive structure. It will give rise to the female gamete, that is egg. Now this gametophyte develop near the water. They requires water for the fertilization process. That means this antherozoids, which are motile structure, will move along with the water current, and it will come to the neck of this archegonia, where it will enter inside the archegonia and fuses with the egg. So water is required for the process of fertilization, just like the bryophyta. So we can see some of the characteristics are like bryophyta, and some are different than bryophyta, that means showing evolved structure and complex structure. Now the evolution points are the presence of this seed habit, precursor of seed habit, then the structure of true root, stem and leaf along with the vascular tissue. So these are the characteristic feature of the pteridophytes. Now we will discuss through the diagram also. In this slide we will study about the pteridophyte, which is one of the land plant, and this plant is the primitive type of plant, first plant which having the true root, stem and leaves. They are not producing seeds, whereas phanerogams, that is gymnosperms and angiosperms, are producing the seeds. The reproductive organs are always hidden inside in the pteridophyte, and whereas in phanerogams they are well differentiated. Now these are the primitive tissue, that means xylem and phloem are present in pteridophytes in the starting. Till then, that is till an algae and bryophyta, no vascular tissues are present, but here it is primitive type of vascular tissue is present for conduction, and which becomes more advanced in phanerogams. Now this pteridophyte have two types of plant in their life cycle, that is sporophytic plant and gametophytic plant, in which the sporophytes are dominant stages over the gametophytic plants. Pteridophytes are the vascular plants because having xylem and phloem for the conduction, water transport system, and they have true root, leaves and stems. So it is more evolved from the bryophyta and advanced than bryophyta and algae. Now these plants producing the flagellated sperm, which requires water for the process of fertilization. Along with the water current, they move towards the gametophytic plant, that is archegonium, to produce the zygote. Now life cycle is dominated by the sporophytic stage, and the spores are produced, and these spores will give rise to gametophyte. Here we can see in the picture, these are the spores present on the inner side of the leaf, on the underneath side, and here we can see the spores. This is the habitat, the structure of this plant. Ferns. Equisetum or horsetail is one of the example of the pteridophytic plants, which is also known as living fossil. This slide is showing the characteristic features of the pteridophytic plant, which is seedless plant. Now the structure is, they have the thick cell wall, which and with the well developed cuticle. Cuticle is present on the plant body, so that to prevent the process of rate of transpiration. Now this vascular tissue is present in the pteridophytic plant. The leaves are developed, and these leaves are of two types, microphyll and megaphyll, which produces the two types of there are special two types, that is microsporophyll and megasporophyll, which will bear the special type of spores also. that is microspore and megaspore. Now alternation of generation occurs between the sporophytic plant and gametophytic plant. The sporophytic plant dominates over the gametophytic plant, and the gametophytic plant will produce the antheridia and archegonia, which will ultimately give rise to antherozoids and egg. Now these two plants are separate in the life cycle, both are autotrophic, that means both have independent existence. Now biflagellate sperms requires water for successful fertilization, and the sporangia arranged differently in different types of different manners to produce the spores. This slide is showing the figure of gametophyte, which is also known as prothallus. Here we can see this is the rhizoids of the prothallus, which bears the antheridia and archegonia to give rise to the sperm, that is antherozoid as well as egg. This is the structure of the Selaginella plant, and this is equisetum. This is the ferns, leaves, this is the habitat, how it is produced, and on the other, inner side they produces the spores. This slide is showing the life cycle of pteridophytic plant. Here we can start with this plant, that is mature sporophyte, which is diploid structure and having true root, stem and leaves. They produces the spores after the process of meiosis. So the spores are haploid in nature. These spores are produced inside the sporangia. Now these spores, with the help of the wind, they dispersed, and then they will develop into the gametophyte after germination. These gametophyte produces this sperm, that is antherozoids inside the antheridia and egg inside the archegonia. The sperm will move to the archegonia with the help of water current, and here it will undergo the process of fertilization to give rise to the zygote. Now this zygote will germinate to produce the new plant, diploid plant, that is sporophyte. Now this sporophyte will undergo the process, after maturation it will undergo the process of meiosis to produce the spores. In this way we can see the sporophyte alternate with gametophyte and gametophyte alternate with sporophyte. Both of these structures are photosynthetic in nature. In this way we can see that the sporophyte and gametophyte appears one after another, and the alternation of generation is known as haplodiploidic type of alternation of generation. These are some uses of pteridophytic plants. Some of the pteridophytic plants are utilized as food. For example, Marsilia water fern, which is used as food by the tribal people, and the pteridophyta also helps in the process of soil conservation, and they stop the process of soil conservation, protect soil from heavy rainfall. Some of the examples of ferns are Pteris, Drypteris, then Nephrolepis, etc. Here some importance of this pteridophyta is they are used as ornamental plant. Then the leaves are also used for making flower. Some of the ferns are having different types of medicinal importance, used in different types of medical purpose. Then some of the ferns also helps in the process of formation of coal, petroleum, etc. In this way they are very useful for us.